What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. Well, I want to do a real-world MPG test with this 2026 Chevy 2500 with the L8T engine. I got rid of the diesel, went back to gas. We have about a little over 1,800 miles on this, maybe like 1,850 miles on it. So it's not fully broken in yet, I don't think, but it's pretty close. So we got a trip down to Florida here for work. Unfortunately, it's not for play, but we're gonna go top this off. We're gonna go down the highway. Most of it's gonna be highway trips, so it's gonna be highway testing, a little bit of city at the beginning, and then midway through the trip, it's about a 425-mile trip for us. About midway through the trip, I'll update you guys, show you guys where we're at via the computer. Then we'll top off again when we get down to Florida, and we'll do actual hand calculation and see what we actually got with it. So let's get into it. Just want to cover a few things here. We do have a tonneau cover on this. We have the backflip MX4 TS cover. That means T-slot from Real Truck on this. You know, I got mixed outcomes with having tonneau covers. When I've had 1500s or like half-ton trucks, some I got better, some it didn't make a difference. So, you know, they say the swirling action of having your bed open gives you better fuel economy. Then some people say that you actually gain, you know, 5 to 10% better fuel efficiency with this. I haven't seen a difference yet, but I haven't also done a long trip since I put this cover on. I do have about 300 pounds of gear. I got a 75 quart cooler fully loaded with water and ice. I got, you know, my luggage and stuff. I do have a jack and some tools up front. So I have a calculation about 300 pounds in the bed of my truck with a tonneau cover with this. So I wanted to just get that out there so you guys know it's real world testing. This is how I have my truck set up. One more thing too, I just want to show you that I do have from the factory right now, the OEM tires are more of a highway tire. It has a little 17-inch rim, so you know it's set for more for fuel efficiency than having like an all-terrain tire, which I'll be putting on eventually. You can see what it looks like if you guys haven't seen any of my other videos before. It's just a white, it's an LT, and you can see as of right now you don't see that Allison transmission badge on the front anymore because they were not going to do it. And even though the transmission itself is not a true Allison transmission, but I think they came to an agreement, Allison and Chevy, so you'll probably see that Allison badge back on their trucks, possibly. I don't know. I heard they came to an agreement that, you know, they're going to still be able to use that Allison branded badging on their trucks, but as of right now, between the diesel and the gas, this is what you see. V8, and then you'll see Duramax, or you'll see V8 or the 6.6 liter for the gas. It's kind of funny after all these years seeing that Allison transmission, but yeah, let's go get some gas now. Let's top it off. I just want to show you where we're at with the truck, and I do have some running boards on there so you guys get an overall feel of what we have as far as our 2500 setup. All right, let's go get some gas. I promise this time. All right, so we're filling this up with 87 octane. That's what we have to run in this. We have the capless fuel filter on these newer HDs with the gas engine, which is makes it nice, I guess, a little bit more convenient. So we're gonna fill this up. I wasn't completely empty. I had about a quarter of a tank left, and we'll wait the 30 seconds and top it off. Okay, we're gonna wait the 30 seconds, and then we'll top this off. All right, 30 seconds went by. We're gonna top this off. Okay, man, 109.12, but it's a lot better. I used to pay like 160, 170 to fill up my diesel. All right, we're going to reset our trip. So just want to show you guys that first trip here. I actually have 1,894 miles on it. I thought I had a little bit less, but that's been my lifetime since I've owned the vehicle. This is going on my third week. Yes, I do drive a lot. So right now, between city driving, a little bit of highway and towing, I'm averaging 13.7. So we'll go to trip 2. We're going to reset this one, and we're going to get on our way. I'll keep you guys updated along the way here, guys. So let's get after it. So I will be doing the speed limit along the way. I normally just set the cruise on the highway at 70, 75, wherever I'm at. I realized through the years that like doing like 75, 80, it uses more gas, and to be honest with you, you don't get there that much faster. It doesn't really change your time on your GPS overall time. You may save like 5-10 minutes max. So I've just been kind of holding the speed at like whatever the speed limit is on the highway, you know, and set the cruise control. I just filled up, what was that, a little bit, almost 27 gallons. This is a 36-gallon tank overall, which I like, so it gives me longer, you know, longer trips. Right now, because I've been towing a little bit, but normally I get the thing will say about 550 miles on the full tank. Right now it says 502, but it's going to recalculate as I do this trip because I've been towing a lot lately. You know, it's going to give me like a longer distance as I fill up. So I should be able to do this trip without actually stopping for fuel and get, you know, the whole way down there, no problem. I think this trip that I'm going to is about 425-ish miles, maybe a little bit more. But, you know, we'll update you guys along the way. I've been very happy with this vehicle so far, going from the Duramax to this. Towing, you know, my equipment trailer and stuff just on some, you know, the hills. It does downshift once or twice, but not a lot. It does hold 10th gear pretty well, you know, with towing the trailer, which I was very happy with. It's not constantly, you know, searching for gears. I would definitely not use this. I would never have gotten this vehicle with the 6-speed, that's for sure. Once they change over to the 10-speed, I was like, that's great. So I waited a few years, let the 10-speed be out with this for a little bit. You know, you have some things out there that people have in the forums that they're having issues with, but nothing major comes up with this truck as far as the trans and the gasoline engine. You know, there's no fuel dynamic, or the DFM, dynamic fuel management, or any cylinder shutdown or any auto start stop. So that's why I do like the HD gas, because of that. You know, the Hemi has cylinder deactivation, the Ford doesn't. So, you know, I was looking at the Ford 7.3 at one point, but, you know, I'm now a Chevy fan in a way, because I like the way they ride with the independent front suspension. I've had numerous Super Duties in the past, and with that solid front axle, it is rough. You hit a pothole and it's just like, you know, you get shaken around. So I've been liking the ride quality, because this is more of a daily driver for me. I do tow, you know, my equipment trailer, I do tow my kayaks, but I don't use this for work every day, and I don't tow every day. That's why I went back to gas. So I've been happy with it so far. We got almost 1,900 miles on it, and no complaints. So let's get on to this trip. I'll update you guys along the way, so tell you what the computer says, and we'll do a final hand calculation at the end when we go to fill up. All right, we're 100.5 miles into the trip. You can still see at the bottom here, miles to empty. It's at 497. So I started at 502 when I filled up. I've gone 100.7 miles now, and I still have 497 miles till empty. So I think that's pretty damn good, and I'm averaging 18 miles per gallon. Now, when I first got on the highway, or right before I got on 95, it was a lot of backcountry roads. It was for about 40 miles, and I was doing 19.9 miles per gallon. Get on the highway, I'm doing 70. That's what the speed limit is. And I'm averaging 18 miles per gallon right now after 100 miles. Now, I will say I got 1,995 miles on this. I did get my first oil change at 1,500 miles. And I also set the tire pressure to the recommended tire pressure. I don't normally run that, but the tire pressure recommendation on the door sticker is 59 PSI for the front and 80 for the back. Normally I run like 60, 59, 60 in the front and 70 in the back. But I wanted to make just a really fair video of what the miles per gallon is for this 2500 with the gasoline engine. So 100 miles in, we are doing 18 miles per gallon. This engine is 401 horsepower and 464 pounds of torque. It's basically detuned, so it has longevity to it, reliability, because this engine can push out a lot more power. But with the 10-speed, everything is working just fine. We are liking it so far, like I said before. But I'll tell you right now, we got no regenerations, we got no depth to put in it, so these mile per gallons will hold throughout the duration. Now, when you had a diesel, and I had a diesel in the past, numerous, when it regens, your mile per gallon drops drastically for like 30, 40 miles, 30, 40 minutes worth of time, and it just totally drains your MPGs. You do gain it back as you keep traveling, but on shorter distances, your MPGs would drop drastically every time it regens. I'm expecting probably around, hopefully 17, maybe a little bit more, but we're still going to do that hand calculation at the end to see how accurate this computer is. All right, we made it to our destination. It took us a little longer than I expected, a little stop and go traffic, but we're going to check out here. So according to the computer, we did 430.2 miles at 17.5 miles per gallon and an average speed of 62.8. I don't know about that. That average speed should be a little higher than that, but whatever. So we're going to go out here, pump the gas, and we're going to do hand calculation, but most of our trip was highway miles, basically 95, doing 70, doing the speed limit. So I want to do a real world test on this, do a longer trip instead of just like a 100-mile trip or a 60-mile trip, and give you a true full, like if you're going on a family vacation with your truck with some luggage in the back, what you're going to get with the 2500 here. So let's go out and pump this gas. All right, we're going to wait the 30 seconds and then top it off. All right, we're gonna be considerate and go park since this place is busy. But you can see right there, look at that new range now that I did this trip. 622 miles on a full tank of gas here. So let's go park and we'll hand calculate this and see the final time. All right, we did 430.3 miles divided by 24.279 gallons of fuel. So the computer said what, 17 and a half, 17.4. So we actually got better than what the computer says at 17.72. So we're gonna say 17.7 miles per gallon after 430 miles. Overall, I mean, that is great in my opinion for a large, heavy truck with a large displacement engine, gasoline, no fuel dynamic management stuff, no auto start stop, just a straight highway run like I was going to run on the family trip. When I had the Duramax, I think the best I got on the highway doing a full long run was like 19.7, maybe 20 max, but most of the time I was in the 19 range. So overall, it's 2 miles per gallon better having the diesel doing the speed limit on a long run. That's crazy. You know, diesels used to be able to get so much more better than gas, but with all the emission stuff on there, it totally ruined it. And with me not towing heavy all the time, that's why I went back to gas. That initial cost out the door, you're not getting that money back for a very, very long time. You have to keep that truck for who knows how long to really make it worth it. Now, if you tow all the time and tow heavy and you hot shot or, you know, have a construction company with equipment that you're towing, then yes, a diesel is well worth it because it makes the ease, the comfort of towing so much better, especially with the engine exhaust brake. It makes it safer than using the gasoline engine. But with me, the max I tow is 10,000 pounds and that's like once a month. Then all the other times it's just short trips. And I got rid of the enclosed trailer. I'm going to be using a new kayak trailer here soon. So it's going to give me better miles per gallon when I'm out kayak fishing. Now, so far with this vehicle, I've towed the equipment trailer and I got about 13 and a half, and I towed the enclosed trailer and I got about 10.2. So yes, towing trailers, you're going to drop a lot, but still, even with the diesel, I was only going to get like 13 or 12 when I was towing those pieces of equipment. So even towing, I think it was only like a 3 miles per gallon difference. So once again, if you're not towing a lot and you're not towing heavy, gasoline is the way to go. Cheaper maintenance. Don't worry about sensors putting you into limp mode. No DEF, no fuel filters, and it's just a lot cheaper out the door. That's where I'm at. Don't get me wrong. I love diesels, guys. I always have. I wish well, not say that I wish, but if it didn't have the emission stuff on it, I'd be driving the diesel every day. But with the emission stuff, I was always worried about breaking down. That's why I went back to gas. It makes it more smart on my part going back to gas, because more or less this truck for me is a daily driver. I would have gotten a 1500, but I need the payload for work and for stuff that I pick up personally, and I hate the cylinder deactivation and dynamic fuel management and auto start stop anyway. So I'd rather pay a little bit more money in gas than to have those options. And when I had the 5.3, I was only going to get like 15 around town, so I wasn't even getting that great of mileage anyway. And on the highway, maybe I got like 19, maybe 18. So even the 1500s are not that great of fuel economy. So I'd rather drive an HD truck like I have the capabilities of payload, don't have to worry about always overmaxing my payload on my vehicle, and I have the options to still tow 16,000 pounds with this particular model if needed. So that's it, guys. I hope this video helps you guys make a decision on your next vehicle, whether it's being an HD, a car, or truck, whatever. And as always, guys, appreciate you guys coming along for the ride. Stay tuned for some more builds to this truck, and I'm going to keep you guys updated with any issues with this truck. As always, be safe on the water. I'll catch you on the water, or see you from Race Acres or here in Tampa, Florida.